Heading to Nairn. Yes, Nairn Lane. Just wanted to give you a shot of, it's in Stony Glen West. You can see the sign over there. And we're actually going to be not far from right over in here. But just wanted to give you a shot of what we got here. As we're pulling in. This is us. This is me. Just kidding. It's from a movie. Nairn Place. I just helped some people move in over here on the other side of Happy Hill, maybe 6 months ago. They really like it. It was a bit of a fixer-up for them, but it was mostly cosmetic. They've done a really good job. Anyways, we'll pick back up as soon as we get to the house. Just wanted to give you a quick shot of the neighborhood and give you an idea of your neighbors, the houses, and all that fun stuff. All right, here we are. You can see it's on a bit of a crown here. Driveway can stand to be, actually needs to be sealed, I would say pronto. If it starts getting much worse than this, then you might be looking at having to do the whole thing. Long driveway. House was, what are they asking, $485 here. 2,000 some odd square feet, puts it around $171 a square foot, which is pretty low, which tells me, and it's been on the market, I guess, for maybe about a week. So if they were giving it away, we wouldn't have gotten here in time. So it probably needs some updating or something. I would imagine at that low of $1 per square foot with that square footage. I remember the higher the square footage, typically the lower the dollar per square foot, but the overall higher sales price. The lower the square footage, the higher the dollar per square foot, but the lower overall sales price. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but the math works out, I promise you. House was built in 2000, so what are we, 2025? That'll mean everything is 25 years old. The items that have not been replaced, that does not look like a 25-year-old roof to me. So the roof is probably, if I had to guess, I'd say it's either new or within 5 years or so. Vinyl siding. You have natural gas. According to the listing, it's 2-zone. So it's either gas up and down, or most likely gas down, heat pump up, which is pretty common when you have a 2-zone if you have gas, because your downstairs tends to be a little cooler than your up since heat rises. And the I'm just checking out the foundation here. Heat rises, so when it gets down below 40-ish degrees or so, heat pump will have a hard time keeping up. So you typically do not want your heat pump downstairs. You want your natural gas furnace downstairs and your heat pump up if you are going to separate it like that. Steps looks pretty good. Steps look pretty good. They could stand maybe a little bit of repointing, but that's just being nitpicky. Not bad at all. Railings could stand to be painted. But let's get on inside and we'll take it from there. Okay, 2-story foyer. Updated chandelier, loft area. You can see the family room straight ahead as you come in. You have the dining room, kitchen off to the side over here. Picture framing, picture boxing, shadow, or depending on which trim guy you ask what they call it. It's like double member, triple member, crown molding, bank of windows in the dining room. Good amount of natural light in here. You can tell where the rug was. So these floors would probably need to be refinished for sure. See that? paint wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, some of the paint really doesn't look too bad, at least through here. Does not look like they painted the trim though, so the trim could stand to be painted. Molding. Your flex room here. You can also see where they had a carpet in here as well, or something was there. Internal moyons for the windows. These are probably the original windows. They're vinyl. They are not the gaskets that I typically like to point out that fail soon. However, this window up top here, you can see the busted internal moyon there, and the Palladian window that they do have these black gaskets that have a tendency to fail. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's coming into the window right there. Does not look like a blown seal yet, but it's not going, probably won't get better on its own. All right, let's go into the family room. Carpet is, you could live with it, but I would recommend not. You can make out where they have furniture in here. That is not, those aren't shadows. So I would say count on replacing the carpet here. I'm just checking out some of the paint. Paint really doesn't look bad. It actually looks like it's been painted. So, and it may even say that in the listing. I don't have the listing printed out to go by. Just kind of going by what I remember reading. Here's your downstairs thermostat there. That looks like a security system. Half bath right here off the family room. Pedestal sink there. And this looks like LVP in here. When in doubt, whip this out. Yeah, we have LVP here. Two-story family room, ceiling fan, ceiling light, half-round window. Actually, 3 half-round windows. And the one in the foyer is actually considered a Palladian because it's all one window, which is a little more expensive one to have to replace. Oh, let me walk you around the flex room here. Good size. Let me take you into the dining room. Good sized dining room as well. Love this bank of windows. It's nice. This window actually has, I can't tell if it's just a reflection or, no, that's not a blown seal, I don't think. It does look a little dirty here though. Yeah, that's on the inside there that comes off. Okay, now let's go into the kitchen. You have pantry over here to your left. I would not consider that a Costco pantry, but it's a pantry. And staple drawers, they're not soft shut. This is granite here. Stove, smooth top stove. Yeah, it's a little banged up. Actually not, pretty clean though, at least down here it is, the oven portion. Light didn't come on in the microwave. Good sized microwave. Cannot tell if it's vented out or not. Let's check it out. It is not vented out. You can feel the air coming up here. So don't be cooking curry. Tile backsplash. When you're doing your dishes, you can spy on your neighbors over here. It's like they look like the fun neighbors. They have the basketball game set up. All right. Before I go to jail for stalking the neighbors. Dishwasher. Recessed lighting here. That is not recessed. Textured ceiling. Everyone's favorite. Technically this is a breakfast bar here. And well, I don't know why I said technically, you have a breakfast bar here. And then your eating kitchen right here. And the floors really could stand some attention. I mean, some of these are kind of getting into the wood. They really need to, I don't know if they had a dog or what, but they are kind of banged up. This brings us back around to the family room. Gas logs. Let's carry on this way. So to the right, you have your master, your primary bedroom, which is, well, let's take a look at the, I'll take you into the master here in a second. Your utility room, same level as the master. First floor primary bedroom, so that's tends to raise the dollar per square foot because it's more, you have more potential for buyers that don't like to go up and down steps. Aquatherm system, you don't see a lot of the aquatherm systems. From what I understand, they're not the best system, but I would just advise you to look it up and see what you think. I've sold plenty of houses. I actually have one under contract right now that has an aquatherm system and pulls the numbers it's supposed to. I mean, they actually, that aquatherm system that I have under contract right now, that sucker was pulling something like over 100 degrees, I think, when they were doing the differentials. Don't quote me on that, but I swear I think that's what I remember him saying. I mean, so I don't know why they discontinued doing these. As far as I know, they discontinued doing them, but you can see it's hooked up through the water tank there. Natural gas water tank. See if we can pull the age off of this thing. All right, well, I can't make out anything on that. What does that say? No. We have a serial number here. We have a model number. So if we can get the serial number, we can pull the date. We have. All right, well, I won't bore you with this. I'll see if I can pull the, sorry. All right, well, I'll see if I can pull the age off of it. I'm not seeing a serial number though. That's usually how we'll get the date off there. All right. Let me just get a picture of this. Okay, I got pictures of the aquatherm system. Let's see if we can pull serial. Oh, what do we have here? Might be able to pull it off of that. Anyways, depending on what you think of the home, I got a picture on the water heater too, to get the serial number off of there. If you like the home, I'll pull up the dates on those. 200 amp service. All the bays are, a couple of free bays here, and that's about it. Everything is labeled. I do not see anything for a generator hookup on here. Not saying that they don't have a hookup, but I don't see anything for a hookup. And this was, I would say, I don't know how they have it listed, but this is definitely a 2-car. I would probably go so far as to say this is a 2.5 car for sure. I mean, this is definitely the size of a 2.5 car garage. Irrigation system. If we're liking what we're seeing, I'll find out how many zones we have, whether it covers front, sides, and back. Typically, you're gonna have at least the front, and then front and sides, and then if it does cover all around, but that usually you find it in that order, that will cover the front, and then maybe the front and the sides, but you almost never see it just covering like the backyard. So we have a vaulted primary bedroom. Easily fit a king size bed in here. And I know it looks like the yard doesn't go back that far, but it's actually, if you pull it up, I can send you the overhead view of the lot lines. It does go back pretty good ways back there. You have a barn door which takes you into the primary bathroom. Ceiling fan, ceiling light, a little on the dated side. Carpet looks meh. Now you can see where it's kind of starting to buckle up here. So I would say at the very least, you need updating here. Granite countertops don't look bad. Carpet for sure. I'm not sure if this is an ongoing leak or what we have here, but being that it looks like we have a newer roof, I would say I would be willing to bet it's probably not an ongoing leak. But I'm not the inspector, just pointing it out. Double vanity, granite countertops, nice size mirror. Guys, ladies, whoever's watching this, jetted tub, and walk-in shower. Just looking for any other signs of leaks or anything while we're in here, since we found that. Let's see what we have here. I believe this is, yeah, this is wrapped. So we've talked about this, and I think you already know this, this wrap eventually will come loose. Best thing to do is glue it back down as soon as it starts to become loose. But eventually, even if you glue it down, it always starts coming loose like around these edges here. Glue these down, but eventually the whole thing will just kind of come out. But typically, hopefully, you get a good amount of life out of it. So yeah, so that's the master. Let's head on upstairs. Okay, heading upstairs. Textured ceiling upstairs as well. Carpet does not get any better up here. Okay, so let's start over this way. We'll call this one bedroom number 2. A leak here at some point, could be an ongoing leak, I don't know. Ceiling fan, ceiling light. Double width closet here. And technically, I guess they're calling this a bedroom, but not really. I wouldn't go so far as to call this a bedroom. So what did we say they had here? 4 beds and 3.5 baths. So far we've seen 1.5 baths. That means there should be 2 more full baths here. And I'd have a hard time calling this a bedroom, being that you would have no privacy up here. It's more like a loft area, like for a den or an office. Okay, so let's call this one bedroom number 2. Plantation, you have plantation blinds up here, ceiling fan, ceiling light. Double width closet here as well. A little scuffed up. You can make those out. The paint looks pretty good. I mean, it's not bad for sure. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. That's just like a gouge in the trim there. I'm sorry. Jeez. That's probably what the walls looked like before, if you can make all that out. It's like they went with maybe an agreeable gray or something. There's another type of gray that's pretty popular. It's slipping my mind right now, so it could be that. I guess they decided to go with LVP here. Let's call this one bedroom number 3. Ceiling fan, ceiling light, or tap dance studio. Thank you. These 2 windows look a little on the fogged side. They could just be dirty. Ceiling fans, ceiling lights, 6-panel doors throughout. Register is a little dirty. That does not look like the original register. Looks like that's been swapped out. It doesn't look like the other ones. Well, actually, looks like that one. Walk-in closet. Good look at the roof here. This window looks a little fogged too, but this I think is maybe some paint or something's on here. I don't know what that is. Roof looks good though. So we had primary downstairs, that's 1, 2, just getting you guys bearing straight here, 3, and a bonus room over here. Let's get some light in here. Hall bath here, so this is gonna be, what, 2.5 baths so far. Fiberglass tub with ceramic tile surround. There's an accent trim there. Laminate countertops. I remember built in 2000. This, I think, this probably would have been a little dated for 2000, but decent condition, but it's a little dated. Same thing with the light fixtures. All the fixtures, really. Okay. Probably a linen closet here. Okay. That's just, it looks to me like that's just some marks. I don't think it's moisture or anything coming through, but you never know. I don't think that it is, because it just kind of appears right there. I don't see anything else. Okay, pull down attic. And this one would be bedroom number 4. There's your 3rd bath right there. This is the frog. You can see there's a bow in these blinds here. The last bedroom that had the double width blinds had the same thing. Oh, this window's not all the way up. Oh, it felt like a bit of a draft. Anyways, this is a good sized room. Keep in mind, this room should always be cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer, because you're over top of the garage, which is not a conditioned space. Walk-in closet. Good size closet. And there's your flooring there, extra flooring. So if somebody made an offer on this, I would recommend putting for the flooring, just to convey to the purchaser, so we have it there for any replacement pieces that you might need. Black gaskets inside of this half-round window. They do give up over time. The internal moyons do help to keep everything in place. Oh, another thing, this would be cooler as well, because all your heat's going up into this cathedral ceiling here. So, and it is a little cooler in this room, but nothing really bad. You got your vanity in here, oxide window, some different flooring here. Carpet's pretty torn up along through the edges. This could stand to be secured a little better. It doesn't feel too bad, but I doubt it's going to get any better over time. Fiberglass. And the original register there. All right. Hop our head in the attic if we can get in there. Almost gave up until I found this. Okay. Light up there. there's your heat pump upstairs. And you can see there's a bit of a rust line in there. So at one point in time, it you got condensation in there. Oh, a bit of a squeeze getting in there. So you can see the rust line in there. So at some point in time, it has leaked, but I don't see where it's gone outside of the pan. So it's been doing its job. There's a little bit of darkness there, but it doesn't look like anything crazy. But a ton of flooring space up here, floored space for storage. Where was that leak at? I think that leak was somewhere over in here. Seems like, so there's a light there. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some light on this, in this area over here. I see that extension cord goes over here, but I don't see where it would be plugged in. Oh, I'm not getting over to that. So insulation looks pretty good from what I can see. Just following the condensation line from the HVAC, see if there are any leaks coming from that. I'm not seeing anything. And typically where you have, sorry about that, I had a call come in. Typically where you're gonna have leaks beginning are gonna be anywhere you have something coming up out of the roof. Where was that leak downstairs? All right, that almost looks like a bit of a dark spot there. I'm gonna have to switch over to flashlight mode. Okay, sorry about that. I put my flashlight on it. It looks like an old stain from an old leak is what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like it's currently wet, but that's something that an inspector would take a look at. All the insulation looks really good. And this would look a lot brighter if I could get this light on over here, but I'm not crawling over to that. So, anyway, I'm not dressed for it, frankly. But yeah, I mean, a ton of space up here. I'll go back downstairs and try to figure out where that leak might have been coming from. I don't even remember where it was, if it was on the first or the second floor. But we'll go down there and try to discern what it was. If it was on the first floor, it's probably coming from a bathroom. Okay, sorry about that. Had another call come in. So keep in mind, as far as not remembering where the leak was, keep in mind, while this may be 10, 15 minutes for you, I've been here close to an hour. So, yeah. So this is that bonus room, the loft area. That's where that is. I didn't notice anything. It's right around the register, and I did not notice anything while I was up there. If you were with me, I would ask you, hey, what do you think? If you were interested in this place, I'd go back upstairs and take a look. I'm not pulling the attic back down and everything down at this point. I've got to get out of here. But we have a newer roof here. I would say I didn't see anything while I was up there. No telling what that's from. The Aquatherm system is not up here, so I wouldn't think it had anything to do with that. You have heat pump up here, and I did not see anything roof related that would have indicated that there was a leak that came from that. So I would say this is a case where we asked the homeowner what happened. Something had to have come through there. Maybe they spilled something up in the attic. I don't know, but I didn't see anything obvious that looked like an obvious leak up there. Could have been the roof was really bad at some point. Maybe they replaced some roof decking. And I thought there was another spot where we saw a leak. But anyway. Okay. Let's go outside. Oh, upstairs, hall bath. I just wanted to point out, I'm not sure if I didn't mean to gloss over it or anything, but it is possible that maybe if there is any leak downstairs, because this looks like it's possibly has gotten wet at some point. I don't know if you can make out some of it. Looks like kind of some of that stuff where it may have gotten swollen up at some point. So definitely could stand a good caulk line right there. And not uncommon, people taking showers, kids taking a bath or whatever, and water gets outside, or a leak from the toilet or whatever. go outside. We unlock it. Here's your deck. Could definitely stand some attention, some paint, stain. I'd be tempted to strip all this. Strip the stain off of it, start over. Definitely needs to get some stain on some protection on it though. You can see how this is starting to get worn and weathered. Property line, I don't know how really to describe it to you on here by looking at a video, but if you want, it does go back into this wooded section back here pretty good ways. So if you wanted, you know, you could clear out some of this so long as it's not protected. I don't see anything that would indicate that it's protected. Get it fenced in if you want. And we are sitting up higher compared to your neighbors, so that's good as far as like water flow. Need to get the gutters cleaned out. I would probably put that in an offer. Sometimes that will come up in an inspection, which would come as far as like, you know, backing up water, possibly getting underneath the shingles, your roofing shingles. So it could come up in inspection, but if you want to be on the safe side, you know, put it in your offer. Or, you know, whatever. It's all negotiations. I would say not a new roof, definitely not a 25-year-old roof. I'll still stick with my 5-10 years max as far as the age. Let's see what we have here. 2013. Yeah, 2013. So that's gonna be part of your, that's your condenser. I don't see, typically you'll have one for down and one for up. That one could be handling both, but there's your natural gas line, which is pretty interesting. It's on the garage side. You almost never see that. Overhang on your shingles is okay. It is a little thin in some spots. I would say it's probably to code, but that's pretty thin. And then some of the trim looks like it could use attention. If you see along the rake line there, like right along through here, if you can see that, I'm kind of trying to zoom in on it. Okay. Looking at the garage door and the trim around it looks fine. Okay. All right, let's go pop our head in the crawl space. And I do like the way the yard flows, at least for runoff purposes. I like this area too. It makes me want to go build a fort. Oh, and there's your other condenser. So that's probably, yeah, that's gonna be for up. You can see how the line goes upstairs. And then the other one around the back is going to be for your down air conditioning. Okay, let's take a look in this crawl. I'm expecting to see good things here. Yeah, not bad. Insulation is a little stringy. Vapor barrier can stand to be freshened, but I don't see anything like red flags. Let's hit this switch here. And you see how the insulation is a bit stringy, but you know, nothing crazy. Okay. Okay. I didn't notice any cracking along the foundation, but that did not go in the crawl space either. All right. Well, let me know what you guys think if you have any questions. And thanks for letting me take you around. Oh, and if this is the last tour that we take before the new year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever your flavor is, and Happy New Year. Aha! You thought we were done. So this is the primary walk-in closet. This is where the other leak was. So this is coming from the bath upstairs in the we're all the way at the end. So it's going to be in that room over top of the garage. So probably they could have had an overflowing toilet. Somebody got water outside the shower, or could need to be caulked up. Who knows? All right, let's run and take a look at it really fast. You can see how the carpet's kind of bunching up there. So this would be it here. So it could be that the water got outside of the shower here. Get you some caulk on there. My best guess is going to be overflowing toilet. That's what I think it was. Either that or somebody got water outside the shower. But I don't see any telltale signs. Flooring has been replaced, so no telling. And I have not felt any soft spots. So, all right. This is the end for real. All right, for real, this is the end. So this aggregate sidewalk could stand to be resealed, and you can tell you can see it's starting to lose. Well, it won't let me zoom that way, but it's starting to lose some of the aggregate, so I will get that taken care of. Overall, not a bad place. Good dollar per square foot for at least as far as seeing what it needs. Maybe a little on the touch on the high side, but nothing crazy. Most of it looks to be cosmetic, depending on the HVAC and everything, the condition of that. But you get all that tested. Age is not a defect. I tell my wife that all the time. What was I saying? Phone ring again. Age is not a defect. So as far as like the HVAC system, water heater, whatever the ages are on those, if it's functioning the way it's supposed to function, it is not considered a defect. So if you were concerned about the age of those items, address that in your offer. Okay, thanks.